a feisty monkey is actually the veiled chameleon. Females typically only live like 4, maybe 5 years at the most, and males oftentimes only go 5 to 8 years, believe it or not. Now, there can be exceptions to the rule for everything that we're going to be talking about today, but definitely this girl is absolutely crazy. What is wrong with you, you silly monkey? She's upset. Maybe that's what's taking years off her life or something like that. She's got to start to calm down and get a little zen, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, chameleons can be amazing, but veiled chameleons are pretty short-lived. Now, not all chameleons are short-lived, to be honest with you. There are some that can live well into their 20s and even older than that. Like, take, for instance, the panther chameleons. They're typically a 10, sometimes even 12, 13, 14-year-old animal, so they can live a lot longer. And then the bigger ones like Meller's chameleons and Parsons chameleons can live well into their 20s, sometimes even closer to 30 years old. So not all chameleons are really short-lived. Believe it or not, there's even some species that are shorter-lived than the veiled chameleons. Nevertheless, they are truly amazing animals. Moving on to the next animal that doesn't live as long as I'd like, to be honest with you, because they are so incredible, of course, would be the bearded dragon. You know, the truth is typically bearded dragons are probably 10 to 12-year-old animals, although we have Fetty Wap still over at the PhD offices. Now, I think it's going in on close to 15 years now, so they can certainly live longer. And I've heard people that have it for close to 20 years, but the average lifespan is probably somewhere between 10 and 12 years. Ooh, look at this snake right here. I tell you what, whoa! It's absolutely crazy. Now, most colubrid snakes, of course, this is an African egg-eating snake, and it is definitely not happy today. There's no doubt about that. Most colubrids are typically maybe a 12 to 15-year animal. Some will get into 20 years. You know, there's no doubt about that. We've had corn snakes and king snakes that live 20, 22 years, but a lot of them do live about 12 to 15 years in all honesty, and the egg-eating snakes are no exception to that. You know, they're absolutely amazing animals, and that's a generalization, right? I'm trying to give you guys an overall idea of how long these animals live, right? So some snakes can live longer than others, and of course some species of colubrids can live longer than other species of colubrids, but in general speaking, about 12 to 15 years is about the longevity of most colubrids. Keeping in mind, certainly some can live well into their 20s. Moving on to the New Caledonian geckos, and really all of the lychees, the chihuahuas, the crested geckos, so like that, they make incredible pets. I mean, some of the coolest pets out there, super easy to keep. We know that you don't need that hot spot in there. You can feed them the rapashi or Pangea food, which is super simple to feed, but these guys have some pretty good longevity as well, typically living well into their 20s. I mean, it's not uncommon these guys go 25, even 30 years. So a lychee gecko, a crested gecko, a chihuahua gecko, a gargoyle gecko are great animals, but keeping in mind, if you're buying one as a pet, you're going to have it for a good 20 plus years, and I tell you, I'm happy about it. I wish they lived 50 years, because I love these guys so much. You know what's going to live for a long time, by the way? And by the way, welcome to the vlog, Reptile Army. I hope this shirt is amazing. Of course, reptilearmy.com. This is the Halloween drop. It's going to be around for all of October and for beyond that, to be totally honest with you. But I hope that Reptile Army, the movement, will live for many, many decades to come. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited about it. I hope you want to join the army. Go to reptilearmy.com. Now, leopard geckos are pretty similar when it comes to the New Caledonia geckos, and they're pretty long-lived well. Definitely 20 plus years. I've had some for over 15 years now, and they're still rolling strong, breeding and everything like that. So a typical leopard gecko is